Hi everybody, this is Val.
Hi.
And obviously Jacob. We are going to be filming some questions that you guys have asked before based on our relationship and how we feel like we've made it this far. And we've got Val here to ask us the very deep questions. Cheers.
Cheers. I just have a couple questions for you guys because your relationship is pretty interesting. So first of all, tell me, Phil, who you are. Your viewers know, but how would you sum yourself up?
I would say that I am a young professional that is just trying to figure out the serious of life and how to have fun with life and, to bring joy into people's life.
Okay, I love that. So Jacob.
Next question.
No skipping just yet. This is the easy ones. I'm easing you in right now. Tell us about you, Jacob. People see you on Phil's stories, so they know that you two are a little different, but how would you sum yourself up?
Quiet, very quiet, and not having too much to say, but there's definitely always something going on in my head, and just trying to be on my best path to being the best person.
So you two live together. We know that you're in your beautiful home right now. Who lives with you in this house?
My girls are Wanda and Lulu. Wanda is my oldest, she's 6. Lulu is 5. Well, actually, Winston's our oldest. He's like, I don't know, from 2013, so you do the math. That's pretty old. And then your kids.
Got Portia, Lexus, and Dodge.
3 cats, 2 dogs, 2 gays. How did you two meet?
Grinder. And then we went to the Starbucks. And then he saw I didn't drive a shitty car, and then he fell in love with me. And he's fine.
So Phil, did you guys talk a lot first, like on the app, or did you snap or talk on the phone or anything? Or did you like really connect on Grindr and then just immediately meet in person?
We connected on Grindr. I think we talked for a few days. We started on a Tuesday and then met up that following Sunday. We've never had each other on social media except for Facebook. We do not have each other on Snapchat. He doesn't have Instagram. We just, Facebook and texting.
Yeah.
In real life.
In real life.
And neither of you were that active on Facebook, probably more like for family and
Memes.
yeah. You two introduced me to the concept of Take a Break Tuesday. Jacob, can you tell me what that is?
That's when I just don't want to cook and I just need a little bit of me time. That's not, someone dropping in the house. There's always someone dropping in here, and it's just like, nope, take a break Tuesday. I'm probably gonna leave the house, or I'm gonna make him leave the house. Either way, I'm getting some alone time.
So you're taking a break from each other
Yes.
on Tuesdays. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I heard you mention that you cook. You're a great cook, Jacob. I've ate your cooking several times. Do you feel like you do most of the cooking for both
Yes.
of you? Yeah.
Everything Phil makes turns into a Christmas taco. It's just whatever he wants to cook on a cookie sheet.
Shout out Kate.
Put it into a tortilla. That's it.
I love tacos.
Phil, I would say that you're a little bit, or a lot of it, more easygoing, go with the flow. Jacob, you like things a certain way. I think like order brings you peace in a lot of ways. Would you agree with that?
And control. Bring some peace.
Not control, just order.
Order.
In my group of friends, I am the one that's like arranging things and like in control, like where are we going? What's the move? But sometimes I like to just ride and not have to always answer like what we're doing next. If that makes sense. With Jacob, I wouldn't say I really control. I feel like my balls are not in his bag by any means, but it's also like I let him lead, if that makes any sense.
Like you kind of let him take the steering wheel?
Yeah, exactly.
How long have you guys been together?
3 years.
3
And how
years
long?
and almost 3.5 years.
A year and a quarter.
It'll be a year and
More than a
6.
quarter.
It'll be 3 years and 6 months in April. It'll be 3.5 years in April.
Wow. And for context, both of you have a birthday coming up very soon. So, which leads me to asking how old you are and how far apart in age you are.
we're both 29 and we're actually 7 days apart.
And we're turning 29 again.
For the second time. So you do the math, viewers.
Personally, I'm excited to turn 30, so I'll say it, I'm almost 30 years old.
Well, I too am turning 30 in April, just 1 month after the two of you. So cheers to motherfucking that.
Cheers to 92, apparently.
So we were just saying in between clips, these are good margaritas. We were just saying in between clips that right now we're just providing some framing. So some people watching might already know all this. Some people it might be all new, especially people like showing their friends or whatever. But then we're gonna get into some tea a little bit. So that's a little bit of framing about who they are. You guys.
I like my tea ice cold.
Ooh, just like your heart. Ice Queen Jacob. No, Jacob has a big heart and
a big.
If you feel like you can't handle that kind of content, first of all, delete Phil off Snapchat. Second of all, leave this story.
And we're not going to be doing nudes here. Sorry. Tune out now if that's what you're hoping for.
We're not.
We're not.
Because we're going to tune out.
Which one of you gives the most sass in an argument?
Definitely not me. I'm a very serious person. This is my only tone. There's no possible sass coming from me.
I would say it depends on the argument because sometimes Jacob likes to just poke the bear and I have to ask him, like, is this something you really want to do? Because I will fight back, but I don't like fighting with him. I really don't.
He does. He thinks this is the Real Housewives reality.
Okay. Obviously, you guys are gay. You're in a relationship. Someone asked, who's the top and who's the bottom?
When we first met, I was the power top. He was the power bottom. We've definitely fooled around. He's topped. I've bottomed. So I guess you could say that we both fuck each other.
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
What's like the go-to?
I would be top, he'd be bottom.
How often do you have sex?
Not as much as I would like.
How often would you like to be having sex?
Hourly. This would be hourly.
I would say I would probably be satisfied with sex once a day, maybe 3 times a day.
Jacob, what's your ideal frequency?
I really don't know. It really just depends. I'm not
like a when the mood strikes kind of guy.
Like a seasonal person, I would say.
The tea is being spilled. The good parts are here. I asked them if there are other people in their sexual relationship or if it's just them. And Phil said that there's others. And then Jacob said Spencer, which made my eyebrows raise because I thought that was a person, but it turns out it's not. So go on about Spencer.
Spencer is kind of sort of where I'm from, where it's like the biggest, closest Walmart you can get to from where my family's from. So small town people you get, that's the point of reference. So whenever we go up there, we just get drunk at this bar and everyone just hits on us. Everyone. Ladies, gentlemen, anyone. Everyone.
It's not hard to get laid in Spencer.
It's not.
Ooh, put that on a Ray Gun t-shirt.
Period.
Is that just a Spencer thing, or is that something you do?
It's kind of an everywhere thing. If I'm in the mood and if Jacob's not, he doesn't get upset with me for going out, hanging out with somebody, or bringing them here sometimes. And Jacob will always have the option of either joining, watching, or leaving us alone. So
I feel like that takes a lot of trust. And maybe to you guys it comes a little more naturally, but for a lot of the people watching, their jaws are probably on the floor. Like, how the hell do you navigate this and not have constant fights?
I feel like we know that we're not going to end everything that we have over some meaningless sex, right? Like, we've talked about that. So.
And what's everything that you have? What do you mean by that?
I mean, the house, the family, the
house, the kids,
we've
cars.
got the conversations, the memories.
If that hasn't been a cause of struggles, have there been struggles in your relationship, or has it been sunshine and unicorns all the time?
I'd say we've definitely had struggles. I guess, leading back to the sex, like it used to be bad because I used to want it all the time, and I would kind of like, no, I hate the word bully, but I would kind of make him feel bad for not wanting it as much as I want it, which is kind of a form of bullying. And so we had to get past that hump. No pun intended. There were times when I wasn't getting it like enough or at all, and that would stop me from helping around the house. That would be my way of being like, you don't want to do this, then I don't want to do this. And that's not fair. And I think, how many months did we go through that?
I don't know.
A lot. It wasn't a quick thing. And it just, we had to have a lot of uncomfortable talks, and there were uncomfortable tears. Like, we're like, is this what we want to do? Are we going to break up? Like, we've had to face that.
As you think of those hard times, does it make you feel discouraged, or does it make you feel encouraged that if you've gotten over that stuff, you can get through a lot more in life?
Exactly.
I would say encouraged, because the life that we have built, memories, the laughs, like everything that we have done has definitely like overpowered the fact that I may have a sex problem that he has to deal with as well. So I call it a sex problem because for a while it was a problem with us.
Oh, here's one about your hometowns. So Jacob talked a little bit about his hometown. Bill.
I haven't said a word about Terrell yet. Let me tell you about the teeny tiny
please
town
do.
of Terrell, population 300 and dwindling. Keep dying and no one moves back in. And by the way, it's Stephen King territory. So, what else do you need to know about Terrell? It's literally half of a square mile. I grew up on a farm, a quarter or a full mile out of Terrell. You go another mile past my house and you're at the Terrell Cemetery. And it's kind of like the Kennedy compound. We own a bunch of farms all in like one area and then all down the road, and there's different houses, and it's kind of weird.
It's all his relatives in those houses.
Yeah, it's all relatives in the houses, so it's kind of weird.
Bill, tell us about your hometown. Where are you from?
So I am from Muscatine, Iowa. And if anyone doesn't know where that is, it is just south of the Quad Cities. If you look at the map of Iowa, there's a nose, and Muscatine is the nostril.
The nostril of Iowa.
Yeah.
So tell us about like your town growing up, your family, because you have kind of a unique way you grew up.
Yeah. I was born in San Antonio, Texas. About 10 days later, I was adopted to Muscatine, Iowa by my parents. They are white. My brother is from Brazil. Shout out David. He's 3 years older than I am. Growing up in Muscatine it wasn't terrible, I guess. There could have been other places that would have been worse. But growing up, I did not really realize how much that town was not for me. I was awkward, young, and just kind of like in this like, what the hell am I doing situation. I was young, obviously, but once I finished high school, about 4 days after high school, I moved to Iowa City and went on from there. When I went to Terrell, it was a whole new world for me and them, because they're not used to seeing people of color up there. And I'm not gonna name drop, but somebody wanted to pet my skin when I got out of the shower because they weren't used to being around Black people. And so that was a different situation. Also, a member of his family was telling a story and dropped the N-word, like just dropped it, and I was taken back by that. I was also pissed, but I'm also like, you take over or I'm gonna say something, and it's not really my place to just go up there and snap, but I'm also not gonna be 3.5 hours away and disrespect it. So it was hard. It was
really terrible, especially when the N-word was dropped. I'll admit, I was in the wrong. I didn't know what to do at the time. We got out of there.
We got into a fight.
of my family on when we got home, and I'm like, hey, like this can never, ever, ever happen again. That's the last time in your life you're ever going to use that word. Is that understood? It was understood. And more on the topic of racism, and if you're white and you have family that is racist as well, you just have to do your best to educate them and bring them to the right side. And help them understand that, hey, it's okay to say, yep, I was in the wrong and I gotta do better. That's how I was taught. I was in the wrong, someone hit me, and it changed me, it got me on the right path, and I really started understanding. And I think that's important to acknowledge that, yep, I was in the wrong. I really need to do better and commit to doing that.
All right, so you may see that one of the kids has joined us now, showing a little ass, just like her daddy's. So
this
you
is our
mentioned
non-binary plus, Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu's non-binary. How do you know that?
She
You
told
just
me.
know. Oh,
I'm her mother.
Didn't they tell you?
Okay.
See, when you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong.
Exactly. When we know better, we do better.
Period.
Okay. So Jacob, tell us a little bit about, we talked now, you feel like you're more quiet, more reserved, more of a homebody. Tell us about what you refer to as who you were.
When I was in college, I was outgoing. I was also a drunk then too. But I did stop drinking and I felt like I was still very outgoing. And during that time of sobriety is when I met my best friends. And then I'd say I still had depression at the time, but it's the most busiest time of your life. You don't really recognize it. You just take a nap in the afternoon and then you go out and you drink again. And then when you're a little bit older and you're in that cycle, which my depression's been on since I was a kid. I remember it being something I recognized very young, like I would say at least before 10. And it always just kind of comes and goes. It's almost like a muscle you have to work out your brain and help yourself understand about, like what to do and how to stop going down a bad path. And then sometimes it's just like, just run the dishwasher 3 times until it's clean. Like whatever it's gonna take until whatever's holding you back from getting started from what you said you were going to do when you got off work instead of just laying there when you get off work. You just gotta put on some loud music, get up and do it.
So you named a couple things in there that I would think of as coping mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of find your way of life that works for you and keep working at it.
Right. And I've taken medication. I would say try it. It really helped calm my brain down enough to help myself learn and recognize where I'm at and how to reel it back in.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Jacob, because we know that out of all the people that are going to watch this, many, many people are probably affected by depression or probably have someone close to them that is. Phil, this seems like the part of the interview that's the hardest for you to sit through. I'm seeing just through body language and just the energy. And I think that's okay to name because I know how I would interpret that is that you care so much for Jacob and it's hard for you to see him go through that.
It is hard because for someone who doesn't deal with, I don't have depression.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Optimism.
Yeah, I guess I'm just that person who's with someone with depression, and as I'm trying to, keep it all fun and like smiling, and I'm like, hey, let's go out to eat, let's go get a drink. Like, it's kind of like I'm trying to keep the flame lit for both of us. Cause like a lot of times I get asked, why are you always so happy? Why are you always having a good day? Like, what do I have to do? And like, to me, in my head, I just create my own happiness. I'm driving the car that I love. I'm with the man that I love. I'm with the friends that I love. I'm planning trips that I'm gonna love. Like I have to get by looking forward to something, because otherwise I'll slip down into a path where I'm not happy with myself and I'm sad. But it doesn't last very long because I don't like being sad. I'm not good at it. When I'm down, I'm really down. But I live life by looking forward to things, like I said, like just driving to work. I'm driving in my dream car. Coming home from work, I'm driving in my dream car to my man of my dreams. and hanging out with friends. You know, like I'm always looking forward to something, seeing my animals, whatever it may be.
Whew. All right, we've dug into several different deep topics. I say we lighten it up a little bit, do a power hour lightning round with some of these final questions. I'm glad you sat up, Jacob, made everybody add attention. Who asked who out? Like, who asked to maybe be boyfriend?
Jacob asked me for the first date. And so I feel like that would be him asking me to be my boyfriend. Why are we laughing so hard?
Yeah.
When meeting each other's families, who was the most intimidating introduction on each side?
Jacob's mom is pretty fucking intimidating. Like, Deb is what, 5'8"? 5'8", she drives the biggest truck for no reason, and like she'll just look through you as you're talking to her. But Deb and I are homies. Like, we text, we snowmobile, we horse ride, like.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about each other?
Do you want to answer first?
I would say how much you make me feel loved.
I would say honestly the same. Like, our love languages are very different, and that took some adapting. But I think my favorite thing about Jacob is he lets me literally be myself, and I can just be like, hey, I let him run around the house and yell, Bia, Bia. So it's like living with him. Jacob just lets me be who I am. Like, I can literally come home and be like, hey, let's go out to eat. I can literally come home and tell Jacob anything. If it's an argument, we're gonna talk it through. If it's something, funny, he'll laugh with me. Sometimes I laugh at my own jokes, but
Me too.
we can literally just we can communicate, which is very well. It's very unheard of.
If you got married, what would the last name situation be?
Hyphenated.
Who's first?
I'd be Philip Michael Ostrom Powell.
I would still be Jacob Guy Powell.
You wouldn't? No. Okay. So you would just hyphenate, throw his on the end.
I feel like, I guess we've never really talked about it, but I would definitely want to keep my name and his name. And I guess he just thinks he's too good to take my name.
Oh, interesting. Your name is such a core piece of your identity, so.
Yeah.
JGP, that's it. It's not JGPO.
Interesting.
It's just fucked up that you really think that you're just above adding a name to your name.
I don't think I'm above.
Then quit acting like you think you're above that.
I'm not.
Like, seriously, the way you just said that was pretty fucking rude and condescending.
What's the hardest thing you've endured as a couple?
He's the Android that won't convert to an iPhone, if that makes sense. Like with Jacob, if he hears something that he instantly doesn't like, he shuts his mind off to it. And he's not open to learning. It's his way or it doesn't make sense. I feel like I'm the one who has to do the more of adapting in situations so we can move forward, because he's hot-headed and does not change his mind a lot.
I think I'm just full of more life experiences. I try to get us on the right path for our
He's
punches.
7 days older than me. He had so much more life in these 7 days.
I've had more life experiences than you have, as far as...
How can you say that? I'm a gay black man in America who grew up not knowing my own family. By saying you want to bring me out to where you can do, you're saying that I'm below you.
My credit score is higher. I guess that's what we're measuring right now.
My depression percentage is lower. So
Right. And let me tell you, Philip is exactly right here. I'm a very numbers, just singular person, and this is how I was raised. This is the best part about Philip, is he wasn't taught any of this stuff. He doesn't care about any of it. He's just happy, and that's why I love Phil, is because he could just say, throw all that shit in this trash can for 15 minutes, Jacob, and just enjoy life. So yin and yang here. He makes me calm down, slow down, just enjoy life, be happy, find that reason to smile. It's extremely appreciated. And I hope when I try to share my skills that they are appreciated. And sometimes they receive like how you saw today, and that does hurt.
I feel like you can get your point across without sounding condescending.
This is how I sound. I don't know anyone, but I think I might be autistic, and that's why I've always sounded like a robot, and I've never had extremely kind things to say.
As you can see, we do have our arguments, you know, where someone wants to think that they're better than somebody based on their credit score, and the other person's just like, fuck all that. I have everything that I need.
I think you're better at happiness than me. Which would you rather have? An 805 credit score or happiness?
Well, I think we're rounding out our time together.
I think we're done.
I think this is it. So thank you guys for watching. And this took a couple twists, couple turns, couple ups, couple downs. But I hope people enjoyed watching. And more importantly, I hope that both of you got something out of this, good, bad, or otherwise, that could help your relationship move forward.
Obviously, you can see that we are two different people, and we have our issues, and we have our touchy issues. We have our good issues, you know, it's a relationship. Do the pros outweigh the cons? 100%.
Your relationship is not seamless, but it's worth it, and it's worth working towards making better every day. Jacob and Phil, thank you guys.
Thank you, Val.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And as you guys can see, this was pretty fucking raw. You know, shit got a little weird right there, where Mr. 805 thinks he's better than everybody. But this is the man that I'm choosing to be with, and the pros outweigh the cons by far. And we're not perfect by any means, but we're gonna get there. Jacob, thank you for being there for me. I love you. You know, you piss me off so fucking much. But I love you. Let us know if there's anything we did not answer. This has been pretty long, and if you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you, Val, for, you know, giving us your Friday night.
Let us know what you thought.
Let us know what you thought, please. Yes. I don't think I'm a real housewife or anything, but a lot of you really do tune in to my Snap stories, and it's fun to entertain. You guys mean a lot to me. Without you guys, I wouldn't have a Range Rover. I'm just kidding. I totally would.
I just wanna stay for the night.